Today we are talking about the recreational athlete and the recreational field athlete specifically. So what I want to go over are how you should set up your training if you are a recreational athlete. And when I say training, I mean outside of your field sport. So, gym work for the recreational field athlete. We're going to look at just some tips, considerations, and a simple method to see if your strength training is actually helping your goal or if there is even that need for that. So, something that's important to tip the scale is that when I say recreational athlete, that can fall into many different categories. So, before I jump into that, just making a clear point that resistance training is for life. So, whichever form you pick, you should be able to stick to. So the statement above is important, but this whole talk is going to be in the context of a field sport. So you need to ask yourself two questions. What kind of resistance training do you enjoy? Obviously then give that one a go. But not only what one do you enjoy, what one can you sustain, seeing as it is for life. So whenever I talk about life, you need to talk about quality and sustainability. And then, is your performance improving as a result? If not, maybe you need to rethink. If so, stick with it. So what I mean by that is if your performance on the pitch is not improving or maybe is declining slightly, you need to ask yourself, as a recreational athlete or a recreational sports player, which most people are in this country, be it any sport, the majority of people are recreational. You need to ask yourself, is it worth changing up your training style to give a bit more to the sport? Do you like it that much? Or is that sport just a recreation for you and you really enjoy the resistance training or strength training aspect? You know, is the fact that maybe your resistance training is hindering your sports performance a small bit, is it enough to make a change to your resistance training? So strength training aids your field sport. I think everyone is in agreement when it comes to the fact that you can increase performance, reduce risk of injury, mostly soft tissue injuries, improve recovery times, and become more powerful, all by strength training away from your sport. So, I mean, it's pretty universal here. I think everyone in 2021 understands that there are huge merits and huge benefits to strength training for your sport. So the majority of GA players, again, referring to GA, but it can be any sport because most sports players are recreational, but the majority are recreational rather than high-level athletes. People want to train in a way that improves their life and sport simultaneously. But again, it's about tipping the scale, which is more important to you. So, for example, I know a lot of people who are members of CrossFit gyms and play Gaelic football. They might work out at that CrossFit gym 3 to 4 times a week, and then they play with their team 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I'm not hitting out on CrossFit or anything. In fact, it's something I've trained myself or tried myself quite a lot. But looking at the way they train and the volume, the amount of volume they manage in their CrossFit gym, or insert powerlifting, whatever you want. I'm just saying CrossFit because I know people who do this. The amount of volume they're handling in there is going to some extent take away from their sport, but they have to ask themselves and be realistic with themselves. Like, a lot of people who are members of CrossFit gyms are part of a team, like a team sport. They're part of a community. They're part of a wider being. There's that competitiveness in it. It has everything that a team sport has within the gym. It's the same if you go to a powerlifting gym or a weightlifting gym or a specific kind of training modality gym where you're part of a community, you're part of a team. So it might not always be worth pulling away from one team to give to another. So you need to pick not only where your interests are, but where your priorities are. So if you're willing to sacrifice or maybe not reach another level of your sport because you enjoy that methodology, then stick at it. There's no need. If you're someone who really wants to put all their chips or put all their eggs in one basket, you might need to make changes in your training methodology. So considerations and questions. So what method makes you happy? Which training do you love to do? Which training can you sustain? What environments are you happy in? So when I say environment, a lot of people who train in a commercial gym might train a certain way. Other people might be members of a club and there's an environment there that they love to train in, and that can dictate their training for them. Can you do this long term? So again, that's sustainability. Is it adding to the quality of your life? So as a recreational athlete, you should be looking at your strength training aiding your life before you look at it aiding your sport. You should prioritize the quality of your life ahead of the quality or performance of the sport, especially as a recreational athlete. Flip that on its head. If you're in elite level or aiming for that, then priorities flip a little bit. But as the majority of people in Ireland, I think you should look at the quality of your life ahead of the quality of your sport. How is your performance on the field? So again, since you started this training modality, or since you joined this training club, or since you started this sort of gym routine, how has your performance been, and is it improved? If it's been improved, then great, stick at it. If it's not, then again, back to that reevaluation, which brings me to the last bullet point. How serious are you about your sport? So I'm splitting it into four simple levels here. So there's level 1, you enjoy your sport, just play ball and keep fit. So that might mean in the off season when sport's not on, you join another club, play a different sport, you might do a bit of gym work, you're active. Then there's level 2, you train 1 to 2 times a week outside of training. So you're on the pitch 3 nights a week, you might go to the gym once a week, maybe twice a week, or do some other activity. Then there's level 3, it's a lifestyle. You train, you're in the gym, you sleep, you nail your nutrition. It's just the way you are. It's more of a lifestyle choice. You take it serious, but it's not everything. Then there's level 4. This is your elite. You have specific training inside and outside of the field sport. So within the gym, you're doing very specific training towards your sport. You know, everything you do is geared towards the sport, towards your time of the year, towards your goals. You're hitting the basics, hitting your 8 hours sleep. Water intake is bang on, protein intake is bang on. You're willing to learn and grow, and your life is a little bit dictated by the sport. So they're the 4 levels I'm going to break it up to. Most people are in level 1 and 2. Again, recreational, this is where most people lie. In these levels 1 and 2, don't get too caught up. Do what makes you happy. Do what adds quality day to day and what keeps you happy. So quality day to day and week to week should be something that gives you energy. So you're doing your sessions, you can see yourself progressing within the gym or in the training outside of your sport, and you can see phase to phase there are progressions there. It's adding quality to your life. You're never coming out totally exhausted, or it's not taken away from your day or adding more stress to your life. A high amount of recreational athletes nowadays are fitting into level 3. So youngsters are exposed to strength and conditioning nowadays, and it's really a part of their lifestyle. People know a lot more than they did when I was 16, 17. The 16 and 17-year-olds nowadays know how important your sleep is, your protein intake, your water, your strength and conditioning. It's just part of the culture now. So nowadays, seen as it's part of the lifestyle, you should be monitoring your performance and seeing, are they aligned? Is your performance better than it was due to the training outside of your sport? Then level 4 is a very small percentage. Most things you do should feed into your sport, even down to the smallest details. So that's your elite level, which I'm not really overly concerned with today. But it is something you should be concerned with if you are aiming for that. What do you like? So again, it can be anything from bodybuilding, strength training, powerlifting, which is your squat, bench, deadlift, weightlifting, your snatch, clean and jerk, CrossFit, a mixture of everything with high threshold workouts, banded workouts, calisthenics, yes, which is your bodyweight workouts, ballistic training, which is explosive training, animal flow, just bodyweight movements, Pilates, F45, which is a higher intensity training system. So find out what you like, especially as a level 1 and level 2. You need to find out what you like and what you can do for life, what adds to your day and what adds to your quality of life. And sure, most of these things, just by doing once to twice a week or doing recreationally, will 100% add to your performance in some way. But if you are feeling serious about the sport, you may need to rethink priorities. For example, I myself enjoy I would love to do 4 days in the gym. I enjoy pushing sleds. I enjoy hitting the assault bike very hard. I enjoy high heart rate metcons. I enjoy heavy deadlifts, heavy back squats. But will this feed into my performance in the middle of the season or at certain times of the year? Absolutely not. So I meet myself halfway. I do some things I enjoy, but I prioritize the systems that I need. So decide what level you are. Pick something you enjoy, something you can sustain, and something that makes you a better athlete if that's what you're looking for.